But Kakoza is a veteran Ugandan journalist. He has covered major stories, including the Congo War, which began during President Laurent Kabila's reign in 1998. But the Ugandan Army's mission in the Eastern Democratic Republic of the Congo didn't go as planned.
There was a disagreement between Uganda and the DR Congo and Rwandese. So they started fighting each other in Eastern Congo. And as a result, there were so many Rwandese who were killed during that war. So Uganda steps in to try to fight to flush out the ADF rebels, and they found themselves sucked into the war.
The war began in 1998 and officially ended in 2003 when a transitional government took power in the DRC. It involved 9 African countries and 25 armed groups who were pushing for political power and personal gains. And by 2008, about 5 million people died and more than 2 million were left homeless, according to the estimates by the International Rescue Committee. The Congolese government sought $11 billion in compensation for damages from Uganda through the International Court of Justice in 1999. And in 2005, the ICJ ruled that Uganda had violated international law by occupying parts of the eastern DRC and supporting other armed groups during a conflict. 10 years later, the DRC told the court that the talks had stalled. And after 2 decades of failed talks, the UN's highest court in February ruled that Uganda must pay its western neighbor $325 million within 5 years. Uganda this month paid the first installment of $65 million, but this has not impressed the public and some politicians.
It's extremely unfortunate that as a country we're having to carry the cross and pay the sins of individuals. Because, back then we as a country went to Congo, yeah? And we said, we are running after some rebels who are destabilizing Uganda and so on. But senior UPDF officers, senior army officers, were engaged in looting. They stole timber, they stole gold and all of that. And eventually Congo took us to court.
In December, Uganda sent at least 1,700 troops to the DRC to help fight a violent rebel group known as the Allied Democratic Forces, or ADF, the largest foreign intervention in the country in over a decade. And some activists are worried.
My fear is that the government will use this money for personal business as it's always done. Our first concern is that this money should first help the victims who've been there for 20 years. For me, the Ugandan army is back on Congolese soil, and it's the same army that made mistakes in Kisangani.
But some political analysts in Uganda say the financial penalty could have been avoided.
Plunder under international law is a very, very, very serious matter. So the price we are paying now of paying $325 million is out partly because of us not being as responsive as we should have been as a country.
Uganda is the only country out of 9 nations that's been ordered to pay for war damages. People here are finding it hard to accept the high price tag at a time when the country's economy is still grappling with huge public debt and COVID-19 disruptions. Darren Alan Cheyune, Africa Matters, Kampala, Central Uganda.